Hello, my deep feelers. It's your girl Genevieve, and I'm showing up raw and messy and real today to show you that healing hurts, my friends. Healing is destructive and it's uncomfortable and it's so beautiful and it's necessary. Just this past weekend, I was called to take myself into the forest. I had never done something like this before. I have camped before, but with other people. And this was me and a chair and a cooler with some water and some electrolytes and my journal. And I slept out of the back of my car and I fasted and I meditated and I prayed and I asked Spirit to take some of this grief away. And I knew that I needed to really sit with myself and to sit with the discomfort and to sit with my wounds, because I have been processing the end of a relationship for quite some time, what has felt like centuries. Has only really truly been 7 months. And there are genuine moments of letting go, and there are genuine moments of pain so deep it takes me to the floor, right? And in that grief, if you've watched any of my videos, we know that inside grief there can live so many other thoughts and feelings, right? Anger, disbelief, the questioning, right? The bargaining. And you could be consciously telling yourself you're grieving one thing and you're truly grieving like 15 things at once, right? You could be grieving the end of a relationship and grieving the version of you that stayed in that relationship, or the version of you that got yourself in the damn relationship to begin with. You could also be grieving childhood. You could be grieving the loss of someone you love. You could be, it's the stories that we assign to the feelings sometimes don't cover the depth of the feeling or the emotion. And I had to go into the forest this weekend to sit with my grief and to sit with why, what are you trying to tell me? Why are you here? And to sit with that discomfort, to not scroll it away, to not eat it away, to not turn on the TV or pick up a book or to have no other option but then to just sit with it is sort of a jarring experience. And really, that's the only way to hear what it's trying to tell you is to allow it to speak, is to not do the things that you normally would do to drown it out, but to allow it its voice. And Spirit showed me in the spaces where I was still clinging to the story of I'm not good enough or I'm not worthy enough for a relationship to last, or there must be something wrong with me, um, because you know that person has moved on, or because the relationship ended to begin with, so on and so forth. And Spirit was showing me my patterns and my beliefs and my thoughts about myself, where I'm still playing the old record of what's wrong with me. I should be over this. I should, you know, not be thinking about this person or not caring, and really it's not even about that person. It's not even about that relationship. Of course, there are aspects and there are the way that it affected my life and the way that it affects your life when you're in a relationship with somebody. Yes, that is present, but the deeper reason, the deeper wounding behind it is the feelings of not being worthy, right? Which is grown in childhood. The feeling like you have to perform for love. You have to be something you're not for love. Especially when we stay in relationships that force us to stay small. When we stay in dynamics that we know deep down because we feel it, we just want to numb it away. The dynamics that don't serve our highest good and don't ask us to be the best version of us. The situations where wounding is just mirrored, or your worst qualities are just, fed into, or your bad habits, because that person has their own set of woundings and bad habits. And when two people who are not meant to be together stay together, over time, those subconscious things creep to the surface, and now you're behaving in ways that do not reflect your authentic self, or you're feeling things and thinking things, and right. And there's that part of you that keeps saying it's time to go, it's time to go, it's time to go. And there's the other part of you, the part that doesn't want to be alone, or fears being abandoned, or fears feeling rejected, or fears change. That part of you, says, quiet, quiet over there. I'm going to eat this cake, or I'm going to watch this TV show, or I'm going to scroll this phone. And when I do that, it numbs out the voice, or it dampens the voice that says, hey, something isn't right here. And the longer we ignore that, the more we feed into that abandonment wound complex, however you want to call it, because we're abandoning ourselves. And that tells yourself, that tells your spirit, that tells your heart that you don't consider yourself worthy for your own trust. You don't consider yourself worthy of your own love to get up, to make that hard decision. Even though you know that making that hard decision and doing that hard thing and ending that relationship, you know that's what's best. And you know that when you do it, it's gonna hurt like a motherfucker. And you are probably going to spend time missing that person, but then wondering why you miss that person. And you're going to spend time wanting to talk to them, but knowing that not being in contact with them is what's best. You're going to hurt, and you're going to feel, because that's what you do. You feel, and you feel deeply, and there's no getting around it. So I'm showing up today in the depths of my healing, the depths of my pain, to tell you that even when it hurts, if you can sit with it even for a moment and allow it a voice, over time the hurt lessens. Over time, clarity returns. And if you care enough about how you feel, you, at your very essence, starts to change. And those are the things that you can start to gauge your steps on. Those are the things that you can start to see as milestones in your healing journey. And that is when you start to return. When you start to return to the woman who doesn't take any shit but doesn't do any harm. That's when you return to the version of you who knows what she deserves, who believes in what she deserves. And the pain becomes power. The pain becomes purpose. And I would chance it to say the pain becomes worth it. Because when you start to grow back, when you start to grow back, you learn that you have the tools to work through the pain. You learn that you have the capability to pick yourself up because no one has carried you to this day. You've done that. I love you, deep feelers. Let's keep going. And we'll keep showing up. And we'll keep showing up messy. We'll keep showing up bent but never broken. And we'll get there. We'll walk each other home.